Okay then. Hello. Hello everyone. MVL here, and today we're doing another artwork stream. I'm going to be doing some artwork for my break screens, which you see in between my live videos, albeit unboxing or anything like that. Sometimes I take a break in the middle, and I like to have these crazy break screens in between. Normally with some chiptune music, some old school video game music, and some artwork, however it may appear randomly in between, of myself in the poses of some classic video games. I got a couple of pictures here I'm going to show you for example, and then we're going to go on and we're going to try and draw some Tekken artwork for myself for my break screens. I've done this before by doing some Resident Evil artwork live on stream, and it actually worked out. So I have no idea how this is going to go. We're just going to do it, and we're going to see if it works, and we're going to have fun doing it. So it's totally unplanned, except that I planned to do it, so we're going to do it. Right, so here's a couple of examples. These are a couple of break screens you may not have seen, because either I've rarely used them, or they're new and they haven't cropped up as of yet, but you've seen them now. So this was the angry MVL that I used for Demon Souls. I used this artwork for Demon Souls to represent myself. I uninstall it. Don't show me that message again. This is an old computer, so you're going to get random pop-ups on it. But this is a computer I have with the software installed on it that is only on this computer. So things like that will happen. But I digress. So yeah, this artwork here is for Angry MVL. I used this for Demon Souls. It seemed appropriate. Did a couple of streams of Demon Souls, and I used this artwork on it. And I got a couple more pieces of art here that you may not have seen, just as examples to get you an idea of what we're going to be working with. And here's the next one. This is like an upgraded artwork I've done recently for my Fable artwork. So I did a Fable artwork previously, and I wasn't incredibly happy with it. So I did this one. Now this one I'm pretty happy about, because I drew the background in this one as well with Photoshop. I might have used Photopia, which is like a free Photoshop-like program that you can get on a browser. I can use that on a modern computer, but I'm stuck with the programs, the Photoshop and Flash on this computer that I'm drawing on right now for this stream, which is Flash, MX, Macromedia, and then Adobe Photoshop, which I'll be using just for a tiny bit on this. But yeah, so this was, I wasn't happy with the old Fable artwork I did, so I did this one in its place, and I'm quite happy with this. I like that I did a better background than I did last time I did Fable artwork, so this is definitely an improvement. Same sort of pose as I did on my previous Fable artwork, but I think I've improved the picture a little bit. So there's a Fable picture. Alright, let's have a look at the next one that you also may not have seen. This is one that I intended to use for Final Fantasy streams. Unfortunately, with Final Fantasy, the music often gets copyright. But yeah, this is one I did for that. And the background here was actually a photograph that I took of on a digital camera of a seascape in Perrenborg, I believe. And I just added a Photoshop filter to that, and then myself drawn in front of it. The idea here about how this fits into a Final Fantasy artwork is that there are clouds in the background, as in Cloud, the main character of Final Fantasy VII. That was the joke, because I couldn't really visualize myself swinging a big old sword or anything like that. I mean, maybe in a future break screen artwork I might do something like that, but this seemed about doable. So that was that for Final Fantasy. And then this one I did recently, and you definitely haven't seen this one before. This is me as Luigi for Luigi's Mansion. Now on this picture I actually used an existing background of Luigi's Mansion, and then I just drew myself on top of that, which is what I will be doing on this Tekken artwork. Actually, I'm using an existing background from the in-game of Tekken, one of the stages from that. But yeah, so this is an image of myself ghost hunting as Luigi from Luigi's Mansion, looking very terrified. Look at his wide eyes. My goodness, IO-Bit, stop with these pop-ups. Right, looking very terrified in this artwork. That's the ghost capturing device, the like vacuum with a light in it that you have in those games, that's going on in my hands there. And this is kind of cool, but I meant for this image to be recognizable as Luigi from Luigi's Mansion, and I don't believe you guys have seen this one before, so there it is. Hey Henry, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. And of course, since I did the Luigi artwork prior to doing this is just alphabetically how they show up. I did do a Mario artwork, which I think is even more recognizable. So the Mario artwork here is, you may notice now, looking at this image, this is the costume sort of thing, because it kind of matches like my costume. That's how it was very doable. I just had to color change the costume from what I was wearing. I take photographs of myself and I animate over the top of them for my piece of the artwork, and then the background I do elsewhere. So I did this background for this in Photoshop, and that's a big M, and it's a metallic M, because this is meant to look like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and that's the outfit you get in there, the Super Mario Bros. Movie outfit with those colors that way around. And that's the background as well from one of the posters or the VHS cover. That's what you get in there. So I actually quite like this, the Superman pose with the Mario artwork, very funny. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. You'll see these in future break screens as well. They'll be added in. But yeah, I meant to do some Mario games, so I did some Mario and Luigi break screen artwork that would be recognizable. You good, Henry? That's good to hear, my friend. I'm doing good, thanks for asking. We'll see how good I do, though. We'll see how good I do on my artwork in a moment. So the next one here, you have definitely seen this. This was the artwork I did recently. I'm pretty happy about this one. For Project Zero, as you may know, it's Fatal Frame. So I took a picture there holding a camera, and then I animated over top of that, and then I used an image from in-game but drew over the top of that. So like the background, like this entire one was drawn by me, so I'm happy about that. There's no like pictures in this one, it's all drawn, so I'm happy about that. So I'm pretty happy about that one, and you've seen that one before from Project Zero. I'm pretty happy about it. The hard thing to do that was the hair with the lady, so I just ended up having different hair. Alright, and then this one you would have seen on my last artwork stream. This was the Resident Evil 8 Village artwork I did. I did this live and on stream, so I was pretty happy about how this turned out. Let's hope I can do just as well on the Tekken artwork I'm about to do. So we'll give that a go. And then another one here. This is the unboxing artwork, which is not meant to look absolutely terrifying, but it just does. So yeah, this was made for the unboxing streams. I've done a lot of unboxing streams recently, and you can probably see this on them as well. The background for this was actually the shelves, not these shelves, but shelves, and then there was a filter put on top of that, because drawing those shelves would have been a little bit awkward. But yeah, the box and the character there are drawn, as you can tell, and it looks terrifying. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's actually try and draw some break screens ourselves. Let's try and do a new one. Alright, let's get back into the Tekken folder. Now the background I will be using is from one of the stages of Tekken. I believe it's the final stage. So that's the image I'll be using. And then I took an image of myself in the pose, as you'll see here. In that this way around. Hey, never mind. In that pose, doing the lightning, and what I'm emulating is the Tekken 3 artwork with Jin Kazuya, son of Kazuya Mishima, and I know Kazuya's, by the way, made it to Smash recently. So we're going to be emulating that pose with the lightning. I've got the lightning done on Photoshop. We're going to be adding that in hopefully as well. But yeah, let's just try and do it. So we're going to be animating over the top of this. Now, the reason I'm using my old computer specifically here is there's a lot of things on the old computer that I can't do on modern programs, and these programs won't work on a Windows 10 computer. One of these things is actually the pencil itself. So I'll just do a little example here. If I connect two lines together, they are connected together on, like, that's just a silly, it's almost like a mystery symbol. Those lines will be connected together if I do connect them together on this program. But if I do that on, like, the modern version of Macromedia Flash, it doesn't connect them. They're separate lines. So it is very, very difficult to use it like that for myself because I can't fill in the lines as well. I've also found that the paintbrush is just very different. The way it moves, not so much on this program, but definitely on Photoshop. The version of Photoshop I have on this, the way the paintbrush moves is different. Now, I actually got a program on the PC recently that has this sort of Photoshop paintbrush called Medibang Paint Pro. You have to go into the settings and mess with it a little bit, but it's a free program and that actually works pretty good. So if you want like a good paintbrush, then that might be usable. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing like the goatee look on this picture. I know the picture that I have here has the full beard gimmick that I've had recently. Just ignore that. We're going to go with the goatee. Well, I'm going to try and go with the goatee, see how it looks when I end up doing it. And yeah, I've got a mean expression in this picture. I might actually need to grab the game to like look at the picture, but we'll see how I get away with it. All right, let's start drawing this thing. See how we do. I think I'm gonna start with just the off-camera area, I guess. Normally, I like to start with like the face and work my way out, but I might work my way to the face as I go. So yeah. Oh, and to show you how it would work, the background is behind this already, so that's going to be there. As soon as we start coloring stuff in, it should look pretty good. I actually haven't decided what color to make the shirt. Maybe it'll be red. Maybe the shirt will be red. That kind of works, I think. I actually will have to grab the artwork or look at the artwork online for Tekken 3 cover to see what looks right. I'm drawing with a red pen here for no particular reason. Let's turn that to black. Sometimes I use a red pen to like mark out areas where I want to put shadow. Like if I want to put the shadow here, I might mark it out with a red pen, color the shadow in, and then delete it. That's something I do sometimes. Alright, so this shirt has like the trim for the buttons, like quite visible. Probably gonna leave that in there. And it looks like it goes down, even though you can't see it, it looks like it goes down there like that. Kind of. And if I want to do that like both sides, which I will probably, and it keeps going like that. And then this side doesn't have to be exact. Like, it doesn't have to be exact. There's going to be a lot lost in just the way it is. I'm going to smooth that out a little bit so it's less jaggedy. But there's going to be like a fair bit lost in drawing over the top of it anyway. Alright, there's that piece of, looks like folded cloth on this side. So it's going to want both lines drawn in there. And then there's like I can't tell if it's a shadow or a fold there on the cloth, but it's definitely a fold here. So I'll draw that one in. And then I should probably do this arm, because that's like in front of everything. After I do this line right here, which will be the line that we delete stuff past. So I'm glad that these lines like join up correctly on this program, which is why I still use a program that is practically ancient at this point. On a computer that is barely functional at that as well. But yeah, early days on the artwork here. That doesn't matter that that's not like exactly in place because you can't see that bit anyway. Alright. Guess I will do the hand. This is something that I want to be kind of like, I'm using a touchpad here, and I used to do all of my artwork with a touchpad, but it's been a little while since I've used a touchpad. But I do find it like a little bit easier. But I am tempted here to maybe not use the touchpad. That is not smooth enough. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Try and get that a little bit smoother. Hey, thanks for liking the stream, Henry. I appreciate it, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. You know what? That was fine as it was. I didn't need to smooth that out. This I might move over a tiny bit. Okay. So I'm tempted here to use a smooth line, but we'll see if I can like actually draw this. keep it smooth. By being so far out, it was more difficult to do it. Alright. So, that looks okay, but it's like really bumpy, so I'm just going to smooth out this a little bit. Man, I smoothed that out so much I might as well have used a smooth line. Oh well, that's fine. Just think this needs to be like a little further there. And then that seems about right. Maybe like a little further out. Like clothes, it looks a little more natural. Things not being exactly right. Like a little bit like messed up. But for like skin, the smooth lines look more natural. Alright, I generally can't see this very well with the picture, so I think it looks a little bit like that. But we'll see. It looks a little rough to me. Move back out. I'm not sure if that is actually there or not, or if that actually goes up like that. Some of that's good. Some of it might be shadow. Okay. Like, that's what I'll keep from that line, and then the rest of this I will redo. From further away so I can see the lines a little bit better. So yeah, it looks to me like that actually didn't go out as much as I thought it did. But I could be wrong. Yeah, that's a bit of shadow now I'm looking at it from this distance. Okay, that seems okay. Just delete that and I will redraw that. The rest of that seems acceptable. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. We can fix it as we go. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. Can't tell if that is shadow or if that's not shadow. That is like bizarrely straight there, so I guess I'm just going to let that be like that. And then these lines can disappear. Maybe I'll just draw this line in there. No, I'll do it in shadow when it comes to it. These look okay. See, these lines wouldn't match up on... like, you wouldn't be able to connect these lines like this with other versions, to my knowledge, of this program. Okay. We're zoomed in real close here. No, that wants to be more like that, I think. A little more room out from there. As we come in with that sleeve. This I want to be ever so slightly less jaggedy. That seems fine. That seems fine. Okay. I'm still debating, like, is this part of the sleeve? Or is that shadow? I don't know. I think it is part of the sleeve. Now I mold it over in my mind. Or is it? What a weird thing to like. No, it's shadow. It's shadow. It is shadow. Makes the arm, the elbow look weird. All right. Rest of that's not so bad. think maybe this is supposed to be like a little bit wider than that. I can't really tell. Try it like that. And there will like probably be a button here that we can't see. Maybe I just won't draw that. That seems acceptable. Ooh, that's close, but not quite right. Ooh, this one's tough. Um, Maybe I'll just leave that there and just draw these lines in. It's confusing, but I think it makes sense if I do it like that. This is a very pronounced shadow. So like I might just draw the lines in on this one. Okay. Again, like so tempted to leave that there, but I don't know. With these pronounced shadows, what I definitely will need to do is do the collar. So there's that. And some of these lines will have to be drawn. But which ones and which ones will be shadow will be an adventure that we must find out. Maybe I'll draw the lines and like not worry about where I'm actually putting the shadow and just put the shadow when I do put the shadow in. That could work. Okay. Again, it's not going to look quite right like how it does. It's going to look different, but that's fine. Do I put a line there? Yeah, let's do it. Might have to get closer for the collar. We're up to our neck in it, guys. And the neck isn't normally so bad with myself because I've got a beard. So like the neck isn't that bad to draw. More the problem is like the shape of the head. Because I do like to make it appear like I have a little bit more hair than I actually do. So I can get away with like a lot of like mess on the beard by like just drawing kind of like jagged lines here. There'll have to be some shadows here or something like that. Cover up a little bit of this. Alright. Gonna be interesting doing the shadows of this one. I feel like it definitely needs them. Definitely needs shadows. So like the lighting I actually have is like fine for like doing streaming and doing videos, but when it comes to like going in and like looking at a photograph like a still image like this, As you can see, it's a little like blurred up, so it's not super like good for telling what's what in some circumstances. Hence the slight bit of guesswork for the outfit as we go. Actually, not that bad for the collar. This collar, I can definitely tell where the end of it is. This one, not so much. That's not so bad. There's a button there by the looks of it. That wasn't right, but it wasn't the worst. I can live with most of that. Keep that as it was. I'm using a lot of cheating with these lines here. By just deleting them and redrawing them. So there's a button here. Maybe I'll draw it in. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's going to have to look bigger than it actually is because the buttons are like that big. You can't quite see it. So this button will be like that big, but also flat because buttons are actually flat. Size of it looks weird there. Then the buttons, I guess there will be a dark red if I am wearing a red shirt. I'm not super fussed about these buttons being completely circular because you won't be able to tell when it comes to it. You'll just pretty much like be able to tell if they're there more than anything. That seems fine. Okay. And this side of the collar looks like it sort of comes out like this. But it almost like melds into the shoulder a bit here. It's not very pronounced. So make it a little bit more pronounced. Seems okay. Like ever so slightly less jaggedy there. These lines are like weirdly straight in places. Okay, that'll be fine. Then I suppose this arm should meet up. It'll be easier when like we color this in as well. Of course, I don't need to draw any of the background here. Part of the arm looks super transparent. But like I said, that's kind of like these images weren't designed to be like this size. I've kind of blown them up a little bit. Should hopefully look fine when it's animated. That is not close at all to how that should look. I'll start from this side. It's like really blurry here, so like kind of looks like the shoulder just comes down. Don't hate that first part, even though I think it needs to be more rounded. Leave it as it was. Maybe like drop this down a little bit. Okay, this section here, just about done. It's like I'm not sure if I want to like draw these lines in or not. It's like too many lines might be too many. I think when the shadows are in, this is going to look like more normal. Till then, it's going to look a bit weird. How about that? There's a lot of folds on the clothing here. I'll draw some of these in there. So it's like kind of weird to like which ones do you like line out, which ones don't you line out. Might end up looking strange when it comes to it. We'll see. Like these weird like that's the thing about like these images, like they look so strange in isolation. How does it look without the background? Doesn't look like that weird. It looks like I've got no shoulder, but then I kind of don't. So that's fine. In isolation there. You can sort of see it coming together. Almost want to make those shoulders bigger, but I don't have the physique of a Tekken fighter. Alright. It's kind of like dips in a little bit here. This comes down here. I think I am just going to draw like the lines where the shadows would be, and then just like draw in the shadows and hope that that looks normal. Put that in like a little bit. Not that much. That's about right. About right. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like draw most of these lines in there. Then just like see how it ends up looking. This one I don't feel like I should draw in there, because this is just like straight up shadow. But what are you gonna do? Avoid on it. There's a button there, even though it looks like it's not there. Then you can't really see the other button, so I'm just gonna like accept that you can't see it. Is that a lot bigger than the other button? Yes. Downsize it a little bit. About right. Still bigger. It's about right. Must make sure as well that this is size 1. Otherwise the lines won't match up in the same sizing. Alright. So most of that seems to make sense to me. Maybe I'll like draw. I said I was going to draw most of the shadows in. Most of them. I think I just won't draw that one in, but it'll actually be in there when it comes to it. It's a little bit weird. Like the hand, gotta hand it to him. Not terrible. First attempt. That looks a little bit more accurate. Smoothing it out. Try to get rid of this like exact connection between the two there. So you don't have right, like you don't have straight angles on like parts of parts of the hand. It looks a bit weird. There we go. Man, are these fingers gonna look really weird? Well, I guess we'll find out. Kind of, we're gonna look really weird anyway. Think that that's like a little too big. Okay, I mean, most of this I'm okay with. Let me have a look at one of the previous break screen artworks that I did recently. It has hands in it. I did not draw the fingernails. That's just what I wanted to check. Hands kind of look a bit like a bit weird without fingernails, but I get why I didn't draw them. I think the angle here is not going to be like super apparent of how the hand is positioned when it comes to it. Oh my goodness, I obit. We've all soured on your gimmick. Close to looking more natural. Okay, so what's going on with this finger? Just looks a bit weird. I think the tip is like a little bit off where it should be. Just the tip. Okay. Definitely like more of a curve to this like fingertip than I have in this image. Fingers can be troublesome, especially since I'm not like drawing any like, like not like marking out the knuckles here or anything. Like it might end up looking a bit weird, but I'm hoping the shadows I'm gonna put in here will like make these look like real digits and not just like strange parts of the body. We'll see. These fingertips are definitely these fingers are definitely curved, but it's not like super apparent that they are. I think that sort of thing will help a little bit. Maybe I should do that here as well. Does that make them look a bit like claws if I do that? Gotta get your claws out. Okay, it's not the worst, it's just really rickety. This bit in particular. Very unnatural. Alright, that's... It might look alright. Maybe? Maybe? Might color this one in real quick and see if it looks normal or it just looks weird. This isn't going to be the focal hand anyway. That's going to be the other one. Okay. Most of that's pretty reasonable, actually. So this is where I would use the old red pen to mark out where I'm going to put shadow. It's like shadow running along the side of the knuckles. Probably not going to do highlights, but I definitely will do shadow. If I was to look at this without the backdrop or the picture, it doesn't look so bad. It looks like a hand. Oh yeah, let me also make sure I save it. Make sure I save it, because if I don't save it, it might just close on me randomly. It's been known to do that. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. I need to draw, yes, like the side of the body here. This shadow. I think these shadows will look normal when I, like, put the shadows in. At the moment, they look like kind of bizarre lines from nowhere. But they should look like shadows when they're done. Tempted to use the paintbrush to do them as well, rather than the line tool, because the paintbrush might make them look a little bit like more natural when it comes to it. All right, that'll kind of do for that, maybe. Let's do the arm, because you got to have an arm to have another hand. That's not actually that bad. I think this should maybe come out a little bit more. Yeah, I'll just stick with that. That's probably fine. All right. Okay. I'm worried that these lines in between here are not going to look very natural, so it might just look like an arm is being produced out of nowhere. But we'll see. Also, not sure about drawing these lines in there. So that would be the collar. Collar is about that thick. Maybe I just don't draw a collar line in. Yeah, just not draw a collar line in. That'll be easier. Does that look incredibly weird? No, not really. Put a little bit of lining going on here. Then actually have an arm exist. Actually have an arm exist. The end of an arm needs to come in like slightly, like a little bit, but not all of it, just the other side. Because this bit's fine where it is. The rest of it isn't. Let's smooth it out. Okay. And this line I actually don't hate, except that it's all bumpy. Skin's not that bumpy. And then line of the cuff. Not terrible. Maybe just a bit straighter. Okay, I'll go with that. Maybe this end is like a little bit weird looking. Okay, think I'm fine with that. Like there should be like a line around here somewhere where the cuff is, but you can't really tell. So it's probably not going to matter. If you can't see it in this picture, you won't see it like at all anyway. So the old claw hand. It's going to be weird with like the shape of the knuckles here. But hopefully the shadows will make this look correct. You also can't see the thumb, but the thumb is there. It's kind of like a pose like this, but like it's at this angle, so you can't see like the thumb. Hopefully this will work out. There's going to be some electricity on top of this uh, in Photoshop, so it's not like completely required that it matches up correctly. This is going to be hard to make look like a real hand, even though it is a real hand. It's going to be tough to make it look like a normal hand. Think is more accurate for me to say. It's going to be tough to make it look like a normal hand. Okay. Gotta do the claws. Claws. Not sure that looks like a finger. Don't know. Might redo that one. Not sure it looks like a finger. I mean, that one definitely doesn't, but half of it does. Like the skin here, like it's probably the light, very pale, so it's like a little difficult to judge where everything is. I think this is right. They're better looking more claw-like than finger-like. So if I like point the tips here, it's going to look a little more like aggressive. Less accurate, but we're doing Tekken artwork. It's not necessarily going to be accurate. Not the worst. It's not incredibly correct, but I think I'll go with that. You know what? I'm going to get in closer for this. Then I can sort of judge how well these are done. Do this bit again. With a little bit more raised here. Okay. These lines will be smoother now because I've zoomed in a little more. A little bit smoother. I think the main thing here I want is that they keep some sort of like aggressive look going on. So maybe I might need to make these angles like a little more straight. So like the reverse of what I said with the other section. That just looks so weird. Just get rid of that. Even though it does look like a blurry mess on the photo, which I accept. Like too much. Maybe a little thinner. And this one, I mean, looks very weird from this angle. Try and straighten it up a little so it doesn't look like it's made of jelly or something. Oh, those jelly fingers. Alright, does it look like a hand? Kinda. Looks like a weird hand, but it kinda looks like a hand. Who's worse, Steve or Ashley from Code Veronica X? Yeah, Steve from Code Veronica X or Ashley from Resident Evil 4. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think I'm gonna say Steve is worse because you don't even get to play as Steve. But he's actually Steve is not that bad in the Wii games. He's just like kind of like whiny when you first see him. Ashley, actually no, to be fair, I should say Ashley because Ashley gets you game overs like by just like getting themselves caught up in chaos. So yeah, it's got to be Ashley, hasn't it? It's not even a choice when I think about it. Not even a choice. Should this be like there, like that? Yeah, I think so. It's like, do I put that weird line there? I guess I will. Guess it's done. Okay. So looks like we're doing the head. Then we're gonna do the shadows. Steve can make himself useful. Steve could make himself more useful though. He could. There's that bit where he like gets himself trapped, and then yeah, he's a crazy character. All right, as you can see, I've got the sideburns in this picture, but I want to just have the goatee. There's almost not enough like information in this picture to like, especially with the hair, it gets like a bit weird. So like maybe I should do the nose. Let me look at like one of the other ones real quick. One of the more recent ones, like the Mario one. It's got the nose, and then I just drew the shape of the beard. Okay, makes more sense. Let's do the nose and then the shape of the beard. Man, I can't like really see the nose too well here either, so it's gonna be like a bit of a guess. Bit of a guess. Right, that bit looks a bit weird. Okay, then like a big old bushy beard. See, he's got something you don't. A big old bushy beard. A bit too bushy, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure that looks right at all, but we'll go with it because at least it looks like fairly uniform. Then we'll have like beard come down here. This should probably like be higher than that. I know it's not, but it should probably be higher. And the goatee, it doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be there. Right, see how that looks. Let's go with the first line there. And then like we'll just like have a pretend mouth here with the old hair coming out here. Bring that in a little closer. On that side. Respectable. Looks about right. And then I know I've got like sideburns in the picture, but like they're so weird. I'm just gonna like not draw them. So I'm gonna draw down from like sort of like from here. That looks way too smooth to me, but we'll see how that ends up looking. Alright. Now the old ears. Hey Seacrest, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. The old ears. Here we go. Wondering if this bit of the beard should be like a little bigger. Now we'll go with that for now. Old eyebrows here. Right, I'll do the shape of the head first and then we can figure out the eyebrows. They're one of the worst bits. One of the worst bits to do. Hope you're doing well, Seacrest. 2 MVLs. I actually have an identical twin. So technically, well, I mean, is a different person. But technically. Yeah, it will be Jin Kazama, Jin Kazuya, uh, for sure. That's the aim. His like pose from the artwork on the disc, where he's like got his hand in that kind of claw pose. Don't know why, but the bottom of the ear here has been really weird. There we go, that's better. And then like ears are just like awkward to draw, so I pretty much just like do that and then call it a day. Call it a day on the ear. Let me have a look at one of these other ones real quick. Maybe the Mario one again. Yeah, that's what I did. About the same. Looks like I was moving slightly when I took this picture as well, like ever so slightly. Hope I'm good. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, my friend. Glad you're doing well, Seacrest. Doing some artwork for a Tekken break screen. So far, it's been going along about as I'd expect. This needs to come in a little bit. Maybe I'll just delete these and... No, not all of that. Or maybe I'll just leave that there, because that ear looks like really thin by comparison. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll just do that. Then straighten these out. The very weird looking ear on the side. Alright, that'll probably be fine. I'm not sure if like I was moving in this picture or like this ear is just kind of like off a little bit. But that's kind of what it looks like. Just looks a little bit off. So I'm going to draw it like that. Does that seem right? No, maybe it should be lower. If I put like a line across the face, it's normally my way of like figuring it out. Maybe this should be lower. Maybe it was right. Like that should be like that. We'll go with that. Tiny bit. Like it needs to be like more in certain places. Okay. Now I've got to do the hair. The hair's always you guys can see my hairline, right? Or lack thereof. In these pictures, I like to make it look like I have a hairline, which is something I do. So I'm going to do a generous, and I mean generous, hairline. It's going to look like it goes to where like normal people's hair goes. It's a picture. I can draw my hair however I want it. Um, so I'm probably going to bring it forward just a little bit. Just a little bit. For the most part, it looks like I've like actually got some hair going on in this picture. So I'll stick with that. Needs to be a little bit further out there. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Hairline is always a pain. Never quite looks like normal. Not too bad. Even though like I think this bit needs to be a bit higher up. Try and fix that bit in. The one place by that Xbox One sign. So let's be more generous about this hairline then. Sort of like there-ish. Me look back at one of these other ones. I sort of followed it there. That's still not my hairline, but sort of followed it around. Maybe I'll do that again. Here. No, that looks weird. Ah, okay. Let's just leave that as it is then. Something like this. With something going on here. How that'll look. Okay. Hairline City. Non-existent hairline. Then just maybe bring this down. Like be like that much more generous to myself. That seems fine. About right. Alright, the old eyebrows. Got some pronounced lines here around the eyes. The eyes are going to be tough because in the picture here they're quite in shadow, but in the drawing they're going to have white of the eyes. Um, so yeah, like a lot of this shadow is going to be kind of awkward to do. So like I did one of my patented like strange expressions on my face as well, which I'm not sure how that's gonna look in the actual picture. A little bit more rounded. Okay, so if I use that one, do you think I can get away with like using the same thing on the other side? Or is this one just a little bit too more open? Maybe. Let's try that. Let's try it. Oh, them eyeballs though. They're around about the same size. Yeah. Try with those, see how that looks. Might just copy and paste that one. To the other side. That look really weird. Well, this is just going to be like black and white, so it's not going to be that out of place. Can't place it, but this eye looks wrong. They both look kind of weird, but that one definitely looked wrong. Form it. Gonna at least match up with the other one. Tough because like the angle here is like a little awkward to tell. Maybe like that? Could be. About the same amount of space in between one eye and the other eye. Alright. Got these like angry old grooves here. Angry grooves. Then some eyebrows. The eyebrows are gonna be tough. Eyes are hard, yeah. It's just like drawing how the eyes actually are might not necessarily like look right, especially if you draw the eyes like slightly differently. Like in that pose, I think I've got one eye like slightly wider open than the other. But in a picture, unless they're symmetrical, they just look really weird. I think they're gonna look weird anyway, but we'll see how it looks when it's colored in. Eyebrows as well, I don't like because like I can't even see the eyebrows here. Can't even see them, but we'll try. Here as well. I think this eyebrow needs to be a bit bigger. But for sure, Seacrest, yeah, eyes are hard. Not terrible, actually, they're pretty close. Like a little shorter on this side, a little bigger on the other. Oops. But this is close to having all of the lines done anyway. So there's that. Don't hate that. Even though this eyebrow would be thicker by a long way. Okay. Let's try doing some of the old colouring in. But first, do these eyes look like normal? Yeah, they just look dead. Oh, they look weird, but they look like they're there. Okay. Wondering if I should give myself more hair or just accept that I have no hair. Does that look better? Yes, a little bit. Look at those dead eyes. All right, saving it. So that's all of the lines done. I just need to get doing some shading. Probably don't need to shade the hair. So we'll just take whatever color. Start coloring that in. Too brown? We'll find out in a minute. Looks too brown to me. How have I done like myself on the other ones? A bit brighter, I think. Yeah, a bit brighter. Close. That's better. That looks more accurate to me. Does not want to do those eye holes. There we go. I just do the irises black because it's just easier that way. Everything else is gonna be shaded, so we need to start using a different colored pen. Let's go red. These ones could be smooth if I want them to be, but they don't have to be. Hey Digicon, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Appreciate you dropping by. Drawing some Tekken artwork, or it will be. Just you wait. Weirdly, like this kind of pattern goes like this. Oh well, that looks about right. Like I'm very tempted to use like paintbrush here instead. Very tempted. Hope you're doing well, Digi, as well. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. How much is going to be too much here? Too much shading. Don't use too much shading. Like, is this bit important? I don't think it is. I think I'm overreaching there. Like a bit on the front of the nose I'm probably not going to do. Yeah, let me be a little more practical here about where I put this. Like, yes for the beard, but no for elsewhere. Yes in here. Hey Wojciech, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, new BRB graphics screen. We're doing one for Tekken. I'm bleeding from my ears. Yeah, the red lines are so I can get the shading in. When I got the shading in, we'll be good. We won't need them anymore. We can get rid of them at that point, and it'll look less weird. It should probably look less weird. I should probably quantify it. The old bleeding ears paint. Maybe I should have like that there as well. Alright. And there's like dark patches under here. And then like here. And then like under the eyes. In like a weird way. This might turn out to look normal, it might not. The darkness contained within. Okay. I'll see if this looks normal, then we'll like worry about the rest of the face. So we need some colors. I'm not going to use like the hand because the hand is so exposed to the light that it's like that's just going to look like white. So I use the neck. Alright, that's not correct at all. So I'll try that again. Alright, I think it's getting the colors from the backdrop. That's where it's getting them from. Not the paint, not the picture. There we go. Right, that's more accurate. Try that. It's a little too grey. Little pinker. Yeah, bleeding from the ears. Metal Digicon. That's kind of what it looks like. Metal. Hope you guys are doing great. By the way, appreciate you checking out the stream. Doing a little bit of a casual drawing stream. We're like nearly done. Like just a final stretch here, really. That looks a little too purple to me. Maybe. Maybe I'll just actually fiddle around with the colour myself. No, okay, I'll take it from the picture. Take it from the... Okay, that could be right. That's not terrible. I'll go with that for now. And then, like, much darker. It's gonna look really weird with this much like difference in color. We'll see. Yeah, that's too much. A little better. Go with that. On the shading, and I think that like all of this will be that. Lose the picture for a second. Fill the paint. The paint that fills. Everywhere else. Let's try everywhere else. Kind of looks really weird with the red lines there, but I'm hoping once they're gone, it'll look normal. Kinda. It looks like a patchwork face of anger. So these colors do look contrast quite a lot, but hopefully like actually looking at them, they won't be as bad as that. I think it sort of works out. We're gonna do the same thing with the shirt and everything. I think the shirt will be red. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, the you can like the head, the shape of the head's a little weird, but in isolation, it kind of what I'm going for. We'll get in there. We'll get in there. All right. I look like Breaking Bad. It does have that look, right? If I was to make these marigold gloves, I think it would definitely have that kind of look to it. Yeah, you know what? Like with the goatee, like generally, a lot of people have said I've had that kind of like Heisenberg look, especially in like animation. Like because I'm drawing more lines on my face, makes me look kind of older, even though I do look like older than I have done. You get that kind of look. I also think like in pictures, I look a lot bigger than I am. People have said that they don't believe that I'm only 5 foot tall, for example. I think because of my camera angle, like it kind of looks up at me. My camera does a little bit, so it kind of looks me look bigger. This is how I do the magical BRB screen exactly, Digicon. This is the process. It takes a while actually. To be fair, this is gonna take this has taken longer than my last one did, but I think I'm out of practice because the last one I think I did get a fedora. You know what? I had a bunch of fedoras, but I lost them in the move. So I'm gonna be grabbing one for something, and you guys will see that. Assuming I do that thing that I'm speaking of. Also, the colors you guys are seeing look completely different to the colors I'm seeing on my screen, because my screen is like very different colors to like what's actually happening. Like your screen, like Mine looks a lot pinker on my screen than it does on there, which is not a terrible thing. Because I actually think it looks a little bit better on the actual screen, like more natural. It's very pink on my screen. Also, good thing to do with the going to white here. I can fill out these gaps. If you leave these gaps, then these will be like black on your background. It looks very weird. So we'll fill these in as best we can. These tiny little gaps. Because the fill I was using was trying to cover up like little mistakes where I haven't joined lines together. That ended up happening in a couple of little places. So we'll just like fix that. Look at my fake hairline here. It's really receding in this picture, and you guys saw that I drew it forward. I drew my hairline forward, and it was that receding. You can't even make it up. Alright. So there's Heisenberg MVL again. Save it. We're going to do the same thing with the hands. We're going to draw some red lines so that we can get these like these pronounced shadows on the side of the hands. And then we'll color them in. It should hopefully look pretty good. Then we've got to do the shirt. I'm like a little bit unsure if I'm going to do the shirt like if I'm going to do the shirt red or if I'm going to do the shirt like black. I think I'm going to do the shirt red. Maybe we'll make the buttons black or something. So there's like a lot of shadow here from this knuckle going down to like the bottom of the hand here. Kind of like how that looks as well. And then we go like this so we can draw in the other hand. The light comes up to like here-ish. Then we have like a little bit of shadow here where the other hand comes in. Then there's like a little bit of light going up to the top here. Then we lose it. And then same deal here, it goes down a little bit and we lose the light. Traveling up finger. Okay, it's about right. Get the, oh, that is not correct. Let's put it on close large gaps. Close all them large gaps so we can get in the colors. Get in the light colors. And then the shadows. I'm hoping that looks alright just as is, but we'll see. Might need a little more work to it. Take it off! Give myself like Arnold Schwarzenegger pecs Digicon. It would be an unusual look for me for sure. I did actually, you know, a while ago I did a Hulk Hogan picture where it was a flyer I did for a gig. So I was playing on this gig, and I decided to call the gig Mike Fest. M stands for Michael in the MVL. And I did some artwork for the front of it, which was me like tearing off my shirt like Hulk Hogan. And I essentially used Hulk Hogan's like tearing off his shirt with like muscles underneath, and then put my face on it. Yeah, I remember that. That was a weird thing I did one time. That was a weird thing. Alright, these ones are going to be... There's like the light on the tip of the fingers here I think is going to be a little weird. But I'll try and get it to look right. So we've got some like shadow come from here. Then like a little bit up here and down again. Then we have this like... I think like this will look kind of right. And from here... This... It's kind of hard to see on this. Yeah, that makes more sense. Then like kind of like this. And kind of like that. I'll go with that. These don't have to be as in. Hulk Hogan BRB screen. Wait, is this the light color or the dark color? It's the dark. Shadow. Not sure if that's going to look right, but I'll try that. See how it looks. I am looking for some like crazy looking shadows here, so it's not terrible if it looks wrong. Looks alright to me. We'll fill in the blanks here as well if there are any. Just the clothing, I think, to do now. Alright, not terrible. Got the hands in there. So yeah, I'm gonna go red shirt. We're gonna go red shirt, I think. Red shirt with black buttons. But there's a lot of shadow on this shirt. So it's gonna be a dark shirt. Like Navi from Avatar, make myself blue, digi? Big blue MVL. Baba dee, baba die. If I was green, I would die. I'm blue. Baba dee, baba die. Alright. As the song goes, or so I'm told. Right. Let's get some shadows in here. There's not as bad shadows as I thought, actually. This might not be that bad. I'm going to switch to a green color, because this is a red shirt. So I'll be able to see this better. I'll be able to see it better, people. See it. This one's really easy, because this is like a massive, like, bunch of shadow here. So, I only need to, like, fill in a tiny gap here. Then, like, there. For some reason, there's, like, a tiny bit of light there. But I'm almost certain I should leave that out. Hey, welcome, Jonan. No worries, my friend. Appreciate you checking it out. Hope you're doing well. And I'll see you next time, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. And dropping that like. These I don't need to mess with. I am going to put this like tiny bit of light patch there. For whatever reason it is there. Like tiny sliver of light. Then I think this I'll like just turn that around like that. We'll get two colours in here then. So I need a red, dark red. Maybe I'll take the dark red of the shirt and then lighten it. No, because that's going to be too washed out. I want like an actual, like, dirty red. That a bit too much? We'll see. We'll see. That's very pronounced. Is it too much? I'm not sure. We'll try this. You know what? I think it is too bright. I think it could do with like coming down a little bit. Okay. No, I'm gonna leave it bright. This bit's bright as well. I am not gonna do the game cases in the background. The background's gonna be the Tekken stage. So yeah, the background. If I was doing the game cases for sure, Digi, that would be tough. That would be tough, I tell you. That would be tough. Too tough. Too tough for this MVL. Ooh. Right, take that color out. Forgot about those extra lines there. This might be too red, but we'll see. It might look fine, but it might look a bit ridiculous. Might look a tad ridiculous. There's like a tiny gap there. I think that's what's going on. Tiny gap. Ooh, there we go. Is that too red? Maybe. We could tone it down. We'll do all of the coloration first and then figure it out. We'll do that. Alright. Sort of from here. It's like a bunch of shadow along here. Then it sort of goes out to here. Then around to there. It's like a bit of shadow there. A lot of shadow around here. And around here. And in these grooves. Okay. That mostly seems fine. These are sort of already done, so they're not that bad. A tiny bit of shadow around here. Just a tiny bit. Very small amount of shadow. These bits are sort of obvious where they are. It's like some shadow around here. Mostly like around here. Gotta get rid of these green lines afterwards as well. That. Sort of like that. And it's like a tiny bit here. That's not super important. And then there's like a weird shadow here. Kind of dig it. The weird shapes. Kind of like how like weird shadows fall here. Okay. Let's try that. Think the shirt is going to end up being too bright. We're going to have to bring it down a little bit. But at least when we've like done all of the coloring, we can like mess around with afterwards. I'm just going to do the buttons like the same color I do the shadows. For now, at least. I'm wondering if there should be a line there. Probably not, it's not that pronounced. Gonna need to do a bit of paintbrush action, I think. Just a tiny bit. Bit of the old paintbrush action. Add like a tiny bit to there. Nah, it's too much. It's too much, man. Too much. There you go. Okay, that join them up. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put like a little bit here. A little bit. I'm gonna put like tiniest bit. No, it's just a line. Let it be a line, MVL. Stop colouring it in. Don't colour in everything. Quite relaxing doing this as well. It's like I would akin it to like painting models. Like when you paint models when the lines are already done, but like it's still quite relaxing to like fill stuff in, see how it's gonna look. And the rest of it will be bright. In theory. I'm actually gonna leave that behind there and not in front. Fill out some of these extra areas that didn't get hit by the paint fill tool. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, it looks fine. In theory, I should be able to move around my tool section. I should be able to use small gaps here. Because there's nothing else other than like the outside areas. Is that too red or is that like actually fine? In a weird way. I often do this, like I don't like debate that heavily the colorization. You know, I kind of dig how bright it is. Kind of dig it. It's like quite striking. Get all those green lines. So I made them green instead of red. Can you imagine if I left them red here? Would not work out the way I want it to. We're gonna have to like deep dive in as well to like make sure we didn't not color anything in. Double tapping on the lines here to get rid of them. It'll only take away the green lines, or at least it should only take away the green lines. But now we've got the shadows in, it's not going to be like a massive big deal if I accidentally delete like a bit of the wrong section. Now that we have those lines drawn in. And with the background coming in, background is like very dark, so it might it's not like a white background where like it's going to show any gaps. The white background might actually help out in the fact that you might not be able to see most of where like it hasn't filled in properly. There's a very weird thing going on here with this fill. Oh, that's what I wanted to avoid. Tiniest of gaps. There we go. There we go. Almost deleted all of the colouring then. Oh, it's been a naughty. See, it wants to take away some of that black line, and I want that line. So we'll erase some lines. That's how you want to play. We want to keep those lines. Apologize, by the way, for like leaning in close to my screen. My head keeps going through the screen, I realize. I'll try and sit back a little bit so that doesn't happen as much. But I think it happens when I'm paying attention to these close gaps. I'm also trying to like keep an eye out for places where like the lines haven't matched up or I'm missing a little bit. So like these crazy like angles on these lines are gonna look like the more of them you have, the more it's gonna make it look like it's like real, and less like it's drawn, which is what I want. I want it to look like very close to reality, but still be drawn. So you have these weird like patterns here that like definitely looks like it's animated, but it's like definitely seems like photographic in a sense as well. If I hadn't mentioned before, they used this rotoscope style of animation in things like Snow White and like the dancing scenes to get like the form of a person on that. And myself and some other people did a animation way back with entirely this kind of drawing with less shading because that would have been a nightmare to like shade everything for an entire animation. Oh, left a few little bits. Kind of dig the red actually. I like how it's like kind of striking. It's look almost luminous. I'll save that. Okay, so let's get rid of the picture and the backdrop. Wherever we see white poking through, we need to eradicate it. I think for the most part it's lined up alright. But I did so well for not misclicking then. There we go. Oh, these are the tiniest gaps, but that's why we're looking in like this. Otherwise, they would be visible. I think that's about it, all of them. At least on the shirt. Oh, I was wrong. Deal with these. Okay, wait, there's just one more in this area on the wrong layer. Okay, looks okay to me. Anything else you probably won't see. Background in there. Now we'll be able to see if there's any mistakes here as well on the skin. Doesn't look like it. Okay, cool, 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 cool. It's actually pretty close. So now I need to save it. Make sure I've saved it. Let's save again. Yeah, saved. Okay. So I need to delete the photo layer because otherwise that layer will appear when I export the picture. So we need to delete it. Unlock it first. Delete it. So we've got the backdrop, we've got the border. You're not going to see the border anyway, so that's fine. And the picture. So let's export that. Hey, appreciate it, Digi. So one final touch, and that'll be the lightning. Export the image in the D folder. Break screens. Tekken. And just call it Tekken. PNG file. And then match screen. For this program, you've got to have it on smooth, otherwise the lines are going to be like pixelated. One thing this program can do is it can resize the image and smooth it out perfectly. Um, One thing I wish I'd done is save some of my old animations and images properly, because I've got a bunch of images like that I've done like this that I spent this long doing, and I've only saved them in like a picture format, like a PNG, but like in really small resolution, like 240p, and in pixelated format. So definitely save your files for sure. All right, we'll save that. And then we've got this set up already. Got a new layer in for that lightning. We'll drag the Tekken art into that. Made it its own layer. Of course it did. Why is it so big? Alright. I've made this too big somehow. Okay, well, never mind. Oh, we'll do this as a preview then. Oh, canvas size. Okay, maybe I should do that. Okay, let's do that actually. Oh, I've made it 720. Okay, that's why. That's what was going on. Right, so I need to make these two bigger. Background is locked and I can't move it. But put this into here. So I want to get that lightning. The right size. Got to be about the size of the screen. Kind of like that. Ish. So that's the sort of thing we're going for. GG. GG indeed. So that's like sort of what we're going for with the lightning. Maybe I might like lose that bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I think that's pretty accurate to how it looks. I might want to stretch it down a little bit so the lightning goes more further down the arm. Hey, video game lover, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But that looks pretty much as it should do for Tekken 3. Yeah, let me compare it with the Tekken 3 artwork. I'll have a look at it. Of course, I'm in there instead of the other character. Okay, it doesn't go all the way down the arm, it just goes down to the hand. Okay, so I think I'm fine with that. Looks about right. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go with that. You know, I almost want to like not use the lightning because like I actually think it doesn't need the lightning. You lose like a little bit of detail, but the lightning is part of the gimmick for the game. So like, it will be less obvious what it is without the lightning. So we'll leave the lightning in there. But yeah, I think I'll save that. Can't delete the background layer for some reason. You won't see it anyway. It won't matter. Alright. So, save that as Tekken break screen. In case I want to mess around with it later. We'll save it as well. As a PNG. Alright then. That's that. Then we have the final piece of art, guys. Tekken break screen. So, yeah, guys, thanks for checking this out. It was a lot of fun to do this this artwork stream, and man, it's been a while since I've like drawn something as well. But you got it. You got the new break screen artwork, the new BRB screen for Tekken, their iconic pose from hey 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 from Jin Kazuya from that Tekken game, from the cover artwork with the lightning and everything. Yeah, it was pretty fun to do it. Wicked, yeah, rad. I almost like. I'm not sure whether to like because I like it without the lightning in as well. but without the lightning in, you can't really tell what it is, you know. So like, you lose like the detail on the hand, but I kind of knew that was going to happen anyway with the lightning there. So yeah, that's the final outcome. And yeah, guys, thanks for checking this out. Jin Kazama, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do this. I sort of just randomly picked the colors, like especially the shirt. I just sort of picked it, made it very bright, but I kind of dig that. And yeah, you got the lightning there. I did the lightning ahead of time because lightning was a little bit awkward to do. There's tutorials of how to do stuff like the lightning online. I followed a tutorial. You sort of make, you render clouds and then like change the coloring so that like the space between the clouds, which was dark, becomes light, and then that's what becomes the lightning. That's why it kind of looks a bit cloudy as it is. And then I sort of did that a bunch of times, so I had one that looked kind of like what I wanted, and then like deleted the bits I didn't want. And yeah, I already had the spacing worked out what I thought, but I didn't make it 1080p, I made it 720. But yeah, there you go. So a Tekken break screen artwork done live on stream. Thank you guys for checking it out. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like or comment to let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more awesome content. And if you'd like to, you can also support me through Patreon or YouTube channel membership. But it remains me to say, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking this out. Got a bunch of cool stuff coming on the channel. More unboxings where you may see some break screens, depending on if I take a break on those, of course. More break screen stuff. And myself and Jonan, the Jonan Monkey, are going to be meeting back up again for some more Danger Zone. We've got another Danger Zone video coming. I'm very excited about that. So if you like seeing myself and Jonan doing crazy stuff together on the stream, that's going to be happening. We're going to be playing some games, some retro gaming. It's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, it's going to be wild. And also, if you are into the video game pickups course, there will be a new video game pickup video coming next month. That's all ready to go. It's all been done, all been edited. That's going to be coming at you for the next video game pickups video. And yeah, some cool stuff in that. Cool stuff to show you guys. And if you are a supporter of the channel, either by Patreon or YouTube channel membership, you will also get access to exclusive content. And next month it's going to be a little look at my Evercade collection. So I will probably be doing an updated Evercade video, like generally, but as a little treat, you get to see my Evercade collection as it is. And yeah, I'm very excited about that. Speaking of which, there may be another Evercade unboxing or two coming on the channel, because the Versus, the VS, the Evercade VS, the console version of the system, is going to be released soon. I'm very excited about that. So I'm definitely going to get my hands on that, and I'm going to unbox it. I don't know what I'm doing now. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. I've been MVL, and I will catch you next time. Yeah, it's like the Emperor from Star Wars. Unlimited power. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Catch you next time.